Martin Shave Tests, Sunday the 25th of May. It's a bank holiday and of course it's blowing like the hobs of hell. So we have a 20-mile-an-hour plus wind out there, which means skating, which I've virtually given up on now. I'm not going to do. Let's have a shave instead. And let's go for some John Frum, which is a very kind gift to me, from a friend. Haven't used it in ages. I'm not going to quaff on about soaps. I'm not really an expert. Very nice, pleasant, old barbershop smell to this soap. Yeah, very nice. Anyway, I'm going to use the usual yucky synthetic because it's so easy to use. But I thought today we'd do a stainless steel test. Now, I'm not a great lover of stainless steel, but I have to admit, once you've got to terms with it, it is remarkably nice stuff. Mostly because for razors, it doesn't rust. However, the downside is it's a bit tricky to get a good edge on. Stainless steel, particularly on knives. I used to do a lot of knife work and not very nice stuff, stainless. But anyway, yeah, on certain makes, stainless steel is very good. But what I thought I'd do would be to do a little test in regard to a chevette, and all chevettes use stainless steel blades. Horrible, mass manufactured, machine turned out blades. But in all fairness, even they vary. So let's have a little look today at what we can discover. First of all, I would say the normal chevette, which most people use with the normal feather so-called professional blades, are pretty poor. That's how they come in a nice dispenser. That is their standard, if you want to call it that. That is their standard professional. The long blades, very, very sharp. That's their problem. They are very, very sharp. They come in various varieties. There's a wood variety, but the angle that the blade meets the holder isn't always very good. So this one, as you can probably tell, I ground. So it's now the same angle, a very low angle, which is good, to a professional version, which is their best one. This is the famous DX. So I would say, if you're going to buy a chevette, get a good one, get a DX. This one, of course, I had professionally engraved by a master engraver, and eternally grateful to him. This has my initials and is gold plated over stainless steel. But anyway, this one, the DX, has the better blades, which I've mentioned before, but I'll mention again. This is the Kai, K-A-I, Kai razor. This is the Captain blade, the blue Captain blade, and is significantly better than a feather. So recommend those. Anyway, that's not all. Let's go now to these two beauties. There is a older Henckels Friodur, proper blade, proper stainless steel, and there's a slightly more modern plastic case for the Friodur, the Henckels. Here's the two razors I'm going to be using. These are really a bit special. This one is probably the slightly better. I say slightly better, a little bit harsh because I've only used it a few times. But anyway, that's a round nose Friodur, 6/8, competing with the very, very posh. This is the Friodur with the square nose. It's a 72, I believe, with the gold plating. And no two ways about it. This is a very posh razor. This is the Friodur Inox No Stain, number 72, which I had to do a lot of restoration on, believe me, including replating its lovely gold etched panel. However, this one did come out very well. I won't quaff on for much longer. I would just say that that particular one, the 72, I had to rescale from another razor, and as I said, I did have to replate it. Anyway, let's just start on the posh one. This is the 72. Dry fingers, please, chaps. And let's see if we can get a start with this one. Yeah, J.A. Henckels on the tang. And it does say Schwellingswerk, where it's made in Germany. Pity they don't make them anymore. But this is a beautiful looking razor. I have hanging hair tested it. This is on about 4 days of stubble. This is really nasty old man's heavy stubble. It's silly, isn't it, how the older you get, the more stubble you get. This is cutting really well, actually. Yeah, that's a crisp cut for you. Yeah, no complaints at all. I'm not going to go to the DX Chevette because they do struggle on heavy stubble. However, let's wipe some of this gudge off. Yeah, and let's now go for the other side to the posh one. This is the 72, and I've got to say, really is a very, very nice pucker looking razor in a nasty crappy plastic case, probably 1960s. I do hate cheap cases, and a plastic case isn't good. This one is dragging just very slightly. Yeah, it is very slightly. It did pass a hanging hair test that wasn't great. I won't complain, this is its first outing in a very long time. So far, I go for the other one. Definitely go for the other one. But let's just give a touch more on the chin area. See what happens. That's what I call acceptable drag. It is resisting me a little bit, whereas the 72 wasn't. No, I'm not going to complain. This is the 72. Yeah, it's not quite there. But then we are tackling very heavy stubble. Yeah, this one was slightly worse on the hanging hair test, which is a very, very reliable indicator of what sort of shave you're going to get. So I'm going to do one more pass with the other fella. We'll see if we can then do the Chevette. Yeah, interesting razor, very beautiful. If only people realise that stainless steel, it just needs a little bit more, I don't know, intuitive care than carbon steel. Carbon steel wins every time, but it does rust. Stainless steel doesn't. They say corrosion proof, it's not, but it's better, a lot better. In fact, if you get some chemicals on stainless steel, they will attack. I'll be damned. Yeah, it's better. And this one, I have to say I'm surprised. Mildly surprised. Yeah, this is the round nose 72.5. They always put half and they round nosed them. But this one this hasn't got the gold plating. It's not quite as posh because it's earlier. It comes in the nice traditional card case, which I prefer. Because card, although it will absorb moisture, it also dries out better. Whereas you put it in a plastic case and it doesn't. So I think that's proof. So we have two 72s. This is the 72.5 with the round nose. The other one is the posh one with the gold plating. Yeah, this is a lovely razor. So I obviously did a reasonably good job on honing and stropping it. I'm not going to do much against the grain because I want to do that with the professional so-called civet. Right, let's go on to a little bit more fresh lava. Wet the brush, slop it on. Now I just doff my cap to the wonderful Greg Gallant, who did a 31-day no stropping shave, 31 days with a 72. He actually used a stainless 72 inox. That's the Friodur 72 we're talking about. Anyway, I'll shut up and get on with this. This is the civet. Now the civet doesn't tackle heavy stubble as well. We've already got rid of it. Oh, I've got to say, very nice. The DX is the best civet I've tried. Yeah, that's very smooth. However, post-shave, civets aren't that nice. But they do work. Very, very nicely too. You notice I'm not trying to stretch my skin with lather all over the place. It wouldn't work. You can use a rag on your fingers. You can use various other strange implements. Why bother? If you've got a good edge, you don't need to stretch. That's my opinion. For what it's worth. Which is probably not a lot. Yeah. Yeah. These Koi, K-A-I, Koi blue blades, Captain blue blades are superb. But the feel isn't the same. Only a straight razor gives you that really good feel. But I've got to say, if I was going on holiday to climes where they don't like straight razors, which is most of the world, I'd use this. Yeah, I did have a shave a year ago in Marrakesh, in Morocco, with one of these. And I also used, as a comparison, a nice standard good quality straight razor, which was hidden in the luggage of a travelling companion, just in case. Because when you're living in a gay world and the modern politically correct world that we do have to inhabit, manly deeds, manly goods, not loved anymore. Yeah, very, very good. So, for a very sharp shave, there's nothing wrong with this DX. Whereas I have had various little troubles, even with this modified one. This, bearing in mind, is the standard, so-called standard feather, and professional. That one, with its feather professional blading, has nicked me a few times. Only little nicks, just little weepers, but who needs it? I don't. Yeah, so I'm very happy. That's a very nice little light shave. Yep. I can't say winners or losers today because they're radically different. But I would say if you're going to go for stainless steel and you're travelling, definitely get one of these. If you're going for home use and you don't mind, then use a carbon steel. Or if you're travelling and you want to take the chance, I would use one of these. I would use a Henckels Friodur 72 with the strange stamping which says, yeah, 72.5. When it says half, it means round nose. Don't ask me, I don't know. Anyway, I shall give one quick cursory wipe off and call that a day. I'm then going to eventually have some breakfast and eventually crawl over to the basketball court and do some slinging. Yeah, straight razor every time. Sorry, Chevette, it's just a hold. This feels solid in your fingers, absolutely solid. And has had about 150, maybe 200 years of design to get the straight razor just right. Whereas the Chevette is still relatively new. Oh, bliss. I don't know what I did to this, but I did a good job. Oh, yeah, so I know what I used. This is on a coticle, and then a little bit of strop work on the old green creme dioxide, and then yeah, a good stropping, and there you have absolutely perfect shave. But there is a difference between honing a stainless steel blade and a carbon blade. I finally mastered it, I think. Anyway, chaps, I'm very pleased. That's quite a nice little expedition of shaving. Hope you enjoyed it. Do comment if you did. And thanks to all our wonderful friends out in YouTube shave land. We'll be lost without them. I'm now going to use a John Frum Splash Cologne. See how that feels. Probably quite pleasant. Splash a bit on my paw. Yep. Ooh, stingy. Lots of alcohol in this one. Oh, blimey, it pongs. Oh no, I don't like it. Bloody hell, what the hell have they got in this? Aftershave cologne. I can't quite see all the chemical things in it, but there's quite a few. Yeah, a bit stingy. If you like a sharp post-shave, go for this John Frum. It's Artisan Shave, and I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, that's just me. Nice and sharp, wakes you up. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for subscribing. If you don't, please do. And see you all soon. Martin's Test Shaves over and out.